Who doesn't like a good FAFO video? I love them, and I'm sure you love them too. That's why you're going to love this video, because actions have consequences. You make your bed, you lie in it. And there is a group of people in Western countries, there is a faction, there is a segment of society that thinks that the Islamists, a segment that thinks that they have a better chance of fixing the world or improving the world by joining forces with the Islamists. Isn't that amazing? You'd be thinking, who are those people? Could they be Hindus, Jews? No, just lefty socialist wokes. I call this unholy alliance probably back in 2018 or 19. But later on, I discovered that I wasn't some genius who said it. There were other people had been pointing out similar things as well. But the term was actually coined some 3 decades earlier by someone else, by Iranians, because they experienced it firsthand. What happens when you get in bed with the Islamists? Have you ever wondered why communism never really flourished in the Muslim world? Have you ever wondered why that is? I mean, communists are radical, aggressive, and they have shown that there is no upper limit for the bloodthirst. They can kill millions in pursuit of their communist agenda. But how come it never really established a strong foothold in the Muslim world? Well, there was a communist party in Pakistan. There was a communist party in Bangladesh. A lot of Muslim countries had these communist parties, but guess what? They already had a beast in those countries. That is Islam. Islam is a very dominant, aggressive ideology. It once yielded to moderate democratic forces. For example, you have some sort of a democracy in Bangladesh and Pakistan, but that is mainly due to British colonialism. But before that, if Islam had run supreme, these Muslim countries would have been much worse than what they already are. But Islam was not willing to yield any more ground or lose any more ground to any other ideology. That's why communism never flourished in the Muslim world. But they tried during the time of the Shah of Iran. A lot of lefties, a lot of wokes, a lot of Iranian wokes. The term didn't exist back then, but Iranian lefties, socialists, Marxists, communists, they teamed up with the Islamists. They actually helped the Ayatollahs to bring about their revolution. And look at this. This is a very famous photo of 2 lefty, woke, socialist, Marxist women, Iranian women of the time. One of them was killed, and she's holding up a photo of the Ayatollah, Khomeini. And as soon as he came to power, he killed some 30,000, around 30,000 leftists who had helped the Ayatollahs, mullahs, and the Islamic regime consolidated the power, were executed. A lot of them were executed. And amongst those executed was one of these 2 women. I don't know which one, but the other one. So one got executed and the other one fled to a Western democracy where she lives to this day. So they saw it. And Iranians have been trying to warn the world that don't get in bed with the Islamists. Do not do it. But our lefty, woke, socialist, Marxist people of today in the West, they're not willing to listen. They think that the white man or capitalism is the source of all evil, and come what may, by hook or by crook, we need to dismantle it. First, go towards a state of anarchy and get in bed with whoever you can. And that's why they are in bed with the Islamists. But this is not an alliance of mutual interest. Apart from the fact that you want to dismantle Western society, maybe that's it. Other than that, they share nothing. They have nothing in common. They share nothing with each other except for the hatred of the West. So sooner or later, chickens are going to come home to roost. So I'm going to show you some FAFOs. We first saw the cracks in this unholy alliance some 2 years ago, but I covered this. It was published in The Guardian, which is a very woke news outlet. Look at this. A sense of betrayal, liberal dismay as Muslim-led U.S. city bans pride flags. So many liberals celebrated when Hamtramck, Michigan elected a Muslim-majority council in 2015, but a vote to exclude LGBTQ plus flags from city property has soured relations. Who would have thought that's going to happen? It actually happened in 2015, by the way. That's why we tell them these LGBTQ people will be the first ones on the execution list if the Islamists had it their way. But These people are so stupid, they are helping them achieve their goals. As brutal, as barbaric, as dogmatic communists are, the Islamists are a degree above them. This is why in the Muslim world, whenever there's been a showdown between the Marxists and the Islamists, it's the Islamists who've always come out on top. So they're not getting it. But are they? Have a look at this. So they're playing the same game in the UK. You might have heard of this alliance between the Islamists and the Greens. Look at this. Motin Ali is look at this. He's hugging this person. So this person is a transgender woman. So naturally biological male, had looks like had a breast augmentation surgery, breast implants to look more like a woman, but she's not. It is not. I don't know what her pronouns are, so I'm just gonna say it, not he, her. I don't know. Some people do prefer the pronoun it. I think they say they, them, not they, them, her, the, but I don't know. They're like 50. So anyway, I don't care about it. I wish her best of luck. But look at him. He's hugging her. He genuinely believes that this transgender person is a man, because Muslim, like a radical Islamist Muslim like Motin Ali, he would never even shake hands with a woman. He wouldn't. He's that kind of radical. Look at him. So one of the Green members went to a mosque, or went to an area where there was a mosque, to campaign, to spread Green's leaflets. Have a listen to what happened. And oh, actually, before I play that to you, have a listen. Have a look at this. How other Muslims are discouraging the Muslim diaspora not to vote to the Green Party.
The Green Party supports self-identifying gender laws, which means I can wake up in the morning, or Shaquille can wake up in the morning as a 6-foot man with a beard and identify as a woman.
Absolutely. For what everyone must remember, in Denton and Gorton, the Muslims that supported the Green Party did so in a vote of protest. We must understand that the Green Party's policy are way further than even the Labour Party's policy. We must have independent candidates who speak for the hymns of their people, and not people who are sitting in London in fancy suits.
There are safeguarding issues as well as moral issues. Women's sports, men can compete in them. Women's places, toilets, men can go inside them.
Do these clown lefties who still want to get in bed with these people, do they realize that if you hate Christianity for their traditional values, like no LGBTQ, women-only spaces should be separate, which I believe in too, family traditional values, these guys are 2 degrees above them. These are next level. This is like medieval level Christianity, probably even before that. They're more brutal. And if these guys had it their way, they will be throwing you off rooftops. But they don't understand. It's gays for Gaza. So stupid.
These are not little concerns. These are major concerns for the community and beyond. And we will continue to identify every policy of the Greens and every other party that goes against your moral and philosophical beliefs.
Remember that. Yeah. They always say that. Remember that. Anyway, so there is a lesson for everyone, even the Labour Party, especially the Labour Party in Australia, that no matter how much you appease them or simp for them or bend over backwards or kiss their backside, when they have enough numbers, they're not even going to vote for you. They hate you. Lefties, apart from their mutual hatred for Western civilization, apart from that common ground, they have nothing in common. They have more in common with radical Christians. Radical Christians, obviously, there's no such thing as radical Christian. I mean like Christians who are traditional Christians, who I have acknowledged many times before, have played a significant role in shaping Western civilization. To minimize that, to downplay that, to ignore that, has resulted in devastating consequences for Western civilization. That's why atheists are siding with Western Christians, and our woke atheists are siding with the Islamists. Clearly, it's not just me. Clearly, you can see who's the sensible one. So, have a look at this. A lefty woke gay Muslim? I don't know. He sounds gay, but I don't know if I could be wrong. He might not be gay. He goes to a Muslim area and tries to give Green Party's leaflets. And look what happened to him. Listen to him. I wanted him to be a white, purple-haired, nose ring-wearing woke woman, but we'll take this. Listen to him.
I was accosted, essentially, while leafleting by the vile, bigoted independents.
Muslims, Islamists, Muslims. Look at them. the guys who were just saying that, hey, don't vote for them, vote for the independents.
I was threatened to be beaten up outside of a mosque after Friday prayer as I was leafleting.
How stupid are these people? It's even worse for him. He's Muslim. He should know that. What do you think will happen when you go to a mosque? People are coming out of a mosque and you're giving them pro-LGBTQ pamphlets or leaflets. What do you think is going to happen? Like a purple-haired woke lunatic doing that? I could say, oh my God, you should have watched some of our videos. You should have seen who we are. But a Muslim is doing that. He grew up in that culture. How can they be so stupid? Watch this. This is an oldie from Canada, but a good one. Look at this.
All right, we're here currently at the protest. We got a bunch of...
Some Christians are teaming up with Muslims against LGBTQ propaganda. They're stomping on LGBTQ flags. I wouldn't stomp on an LGBTQ flag. I championed gay rights back in my university days, and I still stand for marriage equality and, two gays that do whatever they want to do. I do understand that it has we have to bear, as a society, we have to bear some consequences to it, but I'm not against two consenting adults doing whatever they want in the privacy of their home. I don't care. But those people teaming up with these people, have a look at that.
Young kids here with their Arab parents, and they are stomping the pride flag here at the protest. The Arab community...
But I'm enjoying this. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. I champion gay rights, but I am enjoying this. I'll be lying if I told you, oh, this is horrible. I don't condemn that. Go. Please do it. Please do more. We want more of this.
Community is sending a message, I believe, to the woke that they are not accepting of this, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Yes.
Stop them. Yeah, kick it.
Any message you'd like to send today? To just
our kids alone.
Leave your kids alone. What?
Daddy, walk up.
Yes. Leave the kids alone, she says, ladies and gentlemen. Leave the kids alone. All right.
Leave the kids alone. I do believe in that too, though, by the way. So how could he not know about his own people? What a fool.
And their main thing that they said, the thing they constantly said, you're the gay party, you support LGBT. Amir Khan directly said to me, you guys support LGBT, that's disgusting. Their leaflets having AI-generated images, and it says, thinking of voting green, think again. The first things are about LGBT stuff. They can threaten me. They can say they're going to beat me up. But I will fight for their minority rights the same way I'll fight for LGBTQ minorities.
Idiot! What these people don't realize, I think they think that they're being logically consistent, but what they're doing, they're actually being fundamentally contradictory. You, as a gay person of color or whatnot, as a gay person, you cannot support a society. You cannot speak up for the rights of a society that fundamentally oppresses you. Like, as an ex-Muslim, I can never help create an Islamic society. I can understand that other Muslims are victims to that, and other Muslims can, suffer under an external system, not just a Muslim system, and under a Western system. A Muslim could suffer. He could become a victim of a hate crime. I understand that, but I would still not, I can support an individual Muslim, but I cannot support an idea or a political movement that is going to undermine my survival or my existence. So that is fundamentally, so this is why when we say gays for Gaza, gays in the West cannot or should not speak up for Gaza. That's not to say that you're not recognizing that people in Gaza are suffering. They're victims of a war in which their people played a huge role in causing that war. You can understand that kids are blowing up or people are dying. But you have to zoom out and you have to say, but still, I cannot create a society in which people like me will be persecuted. That's why Iranians, no, they knew that bombs were falling on their people. They knew that innocent people are going to die. But they were saying, we understand that, but we cannot support the Islamic regime of Iran because it fundamentally enslaves the entire country. You see the contradiction? They could also say, oh, well, these people, it's people who look like me, they're getting blown up due to American or Israeli bombs. Yes, that's a small price you have to pay. But you have to look at a bigger picture. But these people don't get it. Stupid. I speak for them, for their rights, like I'll speak for the LGBTQ rights. Like, stupid.
Their minority rights, the same way I'll fight for LGBTQ minority rights, because I've seen and learned through reading history and through understanding that the moment you let a government pick and choose, or any group of people pick and choose that one group is suddenly not safe for society and they can be scapegoated, no.
The key word is scapegoated. How is that scapegoated when 90% of all terrorist activities come from a tiny percentile of society, i.e. Muslims? Muslims make up 6% of the UK population. Yet they account for 95% of all terrorist attacks. It's the same with sexual crimes as well. So it's not scapegoating. This is called an objective analysis by looking at the data. Data doesn't lie.
No other minority group is safe. And minority rights are there to protect everyone. We can coexist with each other. Doesn't matter who anyone loves, doesn't matter what someone does in their bedroom. And to the Muslim views as well, it says in the Quran, you don't force anything onto them, they don't force anything onto you.
He's an idiot. This is a BS. Quranic verse they keep using is abrogated.
We can coexist. And even me bringing up the Muslim thing is just almost catching their bait, because it's the North Edge Basin is not some big beef between Muslims and gay people. That's some made up, almost sort of Islamophobic.
Huh?
The North Edge Basin is not some big beef between Muslims and gay people. That's some made up.
What an idiot. Yeah, these people are drowning in their own self-righteousness, guys. They just don't understand. If you help create a Muslim society, you as a gay person will never thrive in that society. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. That's why if you supported the Afghan resistance, i.e. the Taliban, during the US-Afghan war or the war on terror, during that time, you were essentially helping to create an Islamic society. And look what's happening in that Islamic society. Women can't even speak loudly. Women can't be heard outside. If they are heard outside their house, then they will be punished. Women can't go to, I think, post-primary education. And even that primary education also has to happen at home by other females. So there's no high school education, or there's definitely no university education for women. Because they hated America, they hated the West. And in their hatred for America, they were supporting the Taliban. Look at the direct consequence of your support. But these people move on. They don't care. So that's exactly. Gaza will be Afghanistan 2.0, an Islamic shithole. So that's why I just cannot support, despite the fact that I recognize a lot of people have died. A lot of people have suffered. I think 40-50% of the Gazan casualties were civilians. 50% were civilians and 50% were Hamas operatives, which is a very good combatant to civilian ratio.
Almost sort of Islamophobic characterization of the debate. It's not like Islam is a unique in its sort of views on homosexuality, but the Muslims here have coexisted and are able to and are willing to coexist with queer people.
So stupid. They are so stupid. I don't know. I never get challenged by these people. I would love to have a conversation with some woke lunatic. I'd love to see how do they justify their positions. I guess at the end of the day, it might just come down to they'll say, "Nah, you're wrong. I am sure in our perfect utopia, Muslims and us queer people will be fine. Will live a great life." I think that's their beliefs. It's dogma, totally devoid of logic and evidence. But I guess that's how dogmas work. But the good thing is their number is constantly shrinking. Okay, the rise of hard right-wing political parties across the Western world is testament to that claim. I hope they find out soon enough. I think I think the D-Day of these people realizing that they got in bed with the devil, I think that day is approaching faster than you think.